Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Raina Mo's Designs. And guess what, y'all? It's fall, y'all. So today I was at the grocery store at Trader Joe's and I saw these beautiful packages of flowers. And so I said, you know what? We're gonna do some floral arrangements today. So if this sounds like something that you're interested in, doing fresh floral arrangements, and you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, take the time to go ahead and click that subscribe button. Make sure that you also hit the little bell notification so you'll know every time that I upload. And let's get into going ahead and getting some beautiful flower arranging. Okay, since I bought 2 different bouquets of flowers, I'm going to do probably multiple arrangements. And the first arrangements I'm going to do is one that I have been thinking about. I know you guys know that I have done the crushed glass look before on different vessels. Well, when I purchased this vessel from Michael's, I was thinking about doing that, and then I said, you know what, no, this is a different type of vessel. I think I want to use this that has fillers in it other than leaves or a ribbon. So I was like, this beautiful crushed glass would look really, really nice. So I got this blue color, came from Michael's. I got this sea glass green color, and then of course I got clear. Well, I don't think one container is going to fill this up to hide my software. Remember, I have said that when you're working with flowers, they have hardware and they have software. So with this being hardware, the actual glass, the software is the Oasis that I've used. Now I've already pre-soaked this in warm water that has been treated with floral food so that the flowers can last longer. So now all I'm going to do is just start pouring the center it actually, and then start pouring the glass around in the 3 different colors to give it a gradient. And so I'm going to start with the blue. Keep in mind that this is real glass, so if you have small ones around the house, you want to make sure that they are not barefoot, including your fur babies, because they are very curious and can get into some trouble with this too. Okay? Just always want to be mindful and cautious in anything and everything you do. And so next I'm going to go with the green color. What do y'all think about my new braids? I always like this combination so that I can disguise, camouflage my braids, and it seems to work pretty nicely. Be very careful, very, very careful. Now this is definitely going to be a heavy arrangement, so keep that in mind too. Once you're done, you want to place it where it's going to go and let it stay. Really pretty from behind. Really pretty from behind. I think I'm going to move a few pieces strategically and get some of it to come towards the front. I really don't want to go to Michael's to get another container, but I may just have to do that, unfortunately. But I'm going to try not to have to do that. And you can decide which side you want to actually show as your primary side. So that too is also a little trick that can be used. Okay, so the next thing that you're going to want to do is actually decide, do I want all roses or do I want to use the mix of floral flowers for this particular arrangement? Now me personally, because of the shape and the design that I'm going with on this one, I really and truly feel like I'm going to end up using some of the fall flowers, but initially I was thinking I wanted to use just the roses. So I'm going to make that final decision, and then when I come back, you'll see what I finally decided.
I needed my Boo Bear to help me decide.
Okay, so after speaking with the hubby, we are going to go with the roses for this particular display. So first thing first is you have to prep the roses. Remember, these are real roses. They do have thorns. Thorns hurt. You also have to keep in mind that you can't have any of the foliage that can get down and start to deteriorate inside the oasis. Once you place your flower, that's it. You cannot be moving it around. It's just not going to work. So the first thing you'll need to do carefully is pick your flower, pick your rose. You'll want to look at it and get rid of any floral petals that are a little lackluster. So I'm not sure if you can see that. Yeah, you guys can see that. That's not something you really want in the front of your arrangement. So you just kind of look at the petals, and any that are really beat up, you'll want to get rid of. Okay? The next thing you'll want to do is take your flower, and you know how tall you want them to stand from your arrangement. This will tell you where to cut it from. We already know that, and be careful because like I said, it's not just the stalk that has thorns. If you can see, there's little thorns here also on the leaves. So either work with gloves or be very gentle and careful like I'm doing, and just pulling them off with your hands, but like I said, very carefully. Now you can decide if you actually want any of this foliage in your arrangement. You can decide if you want it to stay on the rose or use it as filler. You have that option as well, okay? So I'm gonna measure how tall I want my arrangement. I don't think I think this is probably about as tall as it needs to be in the vase. So that happens to be right here at this notch where this leaf is. So I'm going to pull that off and get rid of any leafage, any foliage that is there. And then I'm going to take my pruner and I'm going to snip. Move my thumb, and I'm going to snip at an angle, and it goes straight in. And I'm going to put it in the center. Okay? And so that is my first flower set. And you're going to watch me as I continue doing the same thing with all of my other flowers. So now as you can see, they all look like they're just a little crown, if you will, budding. I don't like the way this one's sitting. Change it. Just a little bit. There. That looks really cute from my side, from my point of view. So I'm just going to tidy this up, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, so what I've decided to do is to take some of these chrysanthemums and yellow roses from my fall bouquet and start to feed them into, because they go right along with the color palette of this beautiful rose. This rose is like 4 different colors. There's a yellow, there's a blushy tone in here, there's this pinky, almost cranberry color that has a gradient that flows over into that blush. And then there's a tad bit of orange in this flower as well. I don't know how they propagated this rose, but it truly is a fall rose. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with the chrysanthemums, and then I'll feed the few yellow roses in between. And I'm gonna use the chrysanthemums towards the bottom. So I'm just gonna get rid of the bulk and start feeding the chrysanthemums in at an angle towards the bottom. So far, this this is what the arrangement is looking like. I'm going to work on the back end, and then I'll work on the corners last. So far, this is how it looks. It's coming along beautifully. Now we're going to move into the yellow roses that are spray roses. So now that I've finished putting all of the chrysanthemums and the yellow spray roses, this is our final arrangement. And I don't know if you can tell or not. I'm going to have to take pictures from above and from the sides, but it is absolutely beautiful. And you know what? It really wasn't that expensive. When you take into account that the roses were less than $10, I believe they were $7.99. And the big bouquet of fall flowers was $12.99. Whatever the cost of the vessel it is that you have and the crushed glass, it really wasn't that terribly expensive. And this is a gorgeous arrangement that probably would cost about $100 to $150 at a florist's shop. So be creative with the things that you do when you find in the grocery store your favorite flower, or you just feel like buying some flowers if you happen to have a floral district where we do, although I got this out of good old Trader Joe's. So you can check out your Kroger's and your H-E-B's from around town, and even Walmart. Pick up some flowers and see what kind of beauty you can create. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I pray that everybody is okay out there. And as always, have an absolutely wonderful evening. Bye.